Hi, everybody. How are you feeling? It is 2025, finally, and this is my first video of the year, and I'm very excited to share it with you. I filmed it a little over a week ago, and this is a lot of mess from Christmas. So, as you can see in the back of my car here, these are some gifts to my kids. And my husband. You can see the gas canisters for his grill there from Christmas from my mother in law's. So I'm just cleaning out the car. And then a lot of the stuff in the back seat was just stuff that we got really lazy and never cleaned out. So our car is a disaster. This is the first thing I'm cleaning in this video. And I'm cleaning this right before I went over to my Nana's. And we got even more gifts. So that was fun. And you'll see that later on in my son's bedroom. His bedroom was an absolute disaster. I got rid of 3 big trash bags full of toys, and I'm gonna have to go through round 2. So stay tuned for that. That's at the end of the video. But yeah, there was a lot to do in today's video. I didn't even get to the rest of the house. I only cleaned my car, the living room, and my son's room. That's all I had time to put together with work full time and getting ready for full time school and just spending quality time with my kiddos. So I hope you guys enjoy today's video. Maybe put it on in the background and clean along with me because I know you guys want to be organized and feeling fresh at the beginning of 2025. I know that's one of my big goals is just to be organized and get rid of as much stuff as I can because we obviously have way too much stuff.
Put all your stuff away and check out for the day. There's no time to waste when it's 100 degrees. Burns under my feet. Won't you have a drink with me?
So I'm a toddler mom, and if you have toddlers, you know it's good to always have snacks. So I left those granola bars in the car. That way they could always be accessible on road trips. And like I mentioned, I had a 2-hour drive to my Nana's after I cleaned this car, and I was late to picking up my brother, so I didn't go super in depth. You'll notice that I do need to wipe some things down in the car. There's some spills that my kids did, or spills from groceries and things like that. And I will go back later on and really detail the car, but for now, I was just kind of getting rid of all the clutter and just some basic vacuuming. This is a super small vacuum I got, I want to say last year for Christmas. And it works okay, but it's kind of small and doesn't have a lot of power, so I do definitely need to go to a I almost said laundromat. I need to go to a car wash and really use their heavy duty vacuums to do better job. So I did my best with what little time I had, and I will go back. I promise. Don't don't get mad at me. I promise I'm gonna go back and really detail everything. But for now, it was nice to get this finally done after putting it off for quite a while.
We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt, though the sun has almost set. Make the most of it. I know we will dance.
So I leave my diaper bag in the car so that it's always here, and then underneath the floor in this trunk is kind of like a storage area where we keep extra wipes, extra pull-ups and diapers, and blankets in case we break down. So I did keep those few things in there, and then here is my trash can that is up on my seat. So I kept that in there, but I took everything else besides the snacks and stuff for the kids. So it looks really good. I'm very happy with the end result. I really didn't get some in-depth after pictures because, like I said, I was late to picking up my brother from work, so he kind of had to sit around at work for a little bit. But it looks so much better, and I really wish I did this so much sooner. It's just been a little bit hectic lately.
There's a heat wave. There's a heat wave rolling in.
Okay, now on to the living room. As you can tell, my son had a blast. He got tons of stuff from Christmas. He is very, very spoiled. He is the first grandbaby on both sides, and obviously the first nephew on both sides. So He is very, very spoiled, like I said, and he's also the first great grandchild on my side of the family. So he gets everything he wants and more. Um, and I definitely narrowed down as much as I could in his room, but you can see the aftermath here of everything that he got that was just in the living room. And then we threw all of this from the living room into his room, and his room was absolutely insane. So, yeah, we're getting it slowly narrowed down. My son has been having a blast, so I guess that's what matters. And this is what a real home looks like, even though I definitely could do better with picking up sooner and getting things cleaned up right away. But this was only, I want to say, 3 or 4 days after Christmas, so it wasn't too bad. But still, I have a lot of improvement to do still. If you guys don't know, my journey has a little bit of a story. I grew up in a messy home. I was never really taught how to clean because my mom was working a full time job and she was a single mom. And we kind of grew up in a very, very messy home. So I don't know these skills. I'm still learning how to build these habits. And I get wonderful tips from you guys in the comments. So if you're new, check out the comments or subscribe, stick around. I do get lots of great comments and I respond to every single one, if possible, unless it's like little emojis, then I just send a little emoji back. But yes, I'm very blessed to have a wonderful community, and my whole point with my channel is to show the realistic side that cleaning is not always common sense. It's not common knowledge. I learned a lot of what I know from YouTube, watching other content creators, and then I started my channel because I thought, you know what, this will motivate me to clean. I will show the realistic side of it. It's not all perfect and minimalist and, all that stuff that social media portrays that everything is perfect when it's really not. So I'm just here to be real and show an average person's life, although mine's a little bit worse than average, of course. But I'm working on it, I promise. It's just taken me some time. So I hope you'll stick with me. This is what it looks like for me after Christmas, I guess. And I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. Let me know what you guys got that you loved the most. I got a sewing machine from my mom, and I feel very blessed because I can be that kind of mom that sews my kids' costumes and makes my daughter's little dresses, and I'm just very, very excited for that.
There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire.
So at this point of the day, both my kids were absolutely done with me not spending time with them. Since I started work about a month ago, they have been really just wanting me around at all times, which is totally understandable. So it's been hard to get anything done because they are stage 5 clingers, both of them. So most of the days that I'm off and I have time, I'm just kind of cuddling them or hanging out with my son and playing with him while my daughter figures out how to crawl. So it's been really fun, but I didn't clean this room as thoroughly as I wanted to because as you can see back there, my daughter started crying and I tried to get my son to play with her because she just wanted interaction, but I eventually had to stop after cleaning this table and give her some lovin's and then continue my cleaning. But yeah, I know I'm going to get some comments that I didn't do very thorough. There's still clutter spots, of course. But you guys, I am trying and I have 2 kids and I'm working on it. But I think it came out really good.
Breeze that makes you high. We'll be up till late.
So let's talk about New Year's resolutions. I know not everyone does New Year's resolutions, but I absolutely love the beginning of the new year because just something about it makes me feel like it's a fresh start, even though I know realistically you can start fresh at any time. But I really like to just reset, think about my goals for the next year, and reflect on the goals from the last year, and just kind of, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I absolutely love it. So, what do you guys have in mind? For me, I already talked about my cleaning goals. I really want to be organized and minimize a lot of our stuff. But other goals I have is I currently started working at a bank, or not currently, recently, still currently, whatever. I'm just rambling at this point. I recently started working at a bank, and there's been a few times that I've ended up a few cents short on my drawer. So, one of my big goals is to go a whole 30 days straight without being short or over and without messing up. And then from then on, just keep, you know, doing good. So, I've been a little bit stressed about messing up, but luckily my boss is super wonderful and she's super understanding. I've been kind of left alone and I've never worked at a bank before, but we're going through remodels at my bank. And so they've kind of had to just kind of throw me in it and hope for the best. So I've been beating myself up over the little bit that I've been under or over. So I'm going to work on that. And then I have some other goals, some business goals. I really want to work on my YouTube channel and just really expand and reach more people who may need my content. And then I want to be a super present mom as much as I can, and just do really good in school. So those are some of my things. Oh, and number one, but I don't mention all the time because I know not everyone is on the same, they don't have the same goal, but I really want to build my relationship with God and get closer with God. So that's a really big one for me. I want to find a church that I love. And yeah, so let me know, what are you guys' goals? I love to hear all about them. Also, let me know if any of you guys do bullet journaling. I absolutely love doing that. It's just so fun to doodle and write out your goals and start habit trackers and all that fun stuff. So let me know in the comments what you guys are doing for the year.
Tonight, love gets another chance. Pretty people holding hands, uplifted by the night, the way that it should be. Can let it slip away, 'cause this might be our final song.
So I got a comment recently on this area rug about it being a little bit dingy and small, and the person was super sweet and didn't mean any harm by it. But I did want to kind of bring attention to it that we do plan on getting a much bigger rug and one that is washable so that we can keep it clean, so that spills don't ruin it as easily. So stay tuned for that. Whenever we get the new flooring in, we will get better accessories. I promise you guys. I am upgrading as I go, and things are slowly getting better and better as we live here. That is my goal. My rent to my mom, she is the best. She lets us live here pretty much rent free, and my rent is to just kind of do what I can to improve the house here and there. So that's what I do each month. I have a goal every month to do something nice around the house.
Birthday, there's a heat wave. There's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah.
Okay, so here's what it looks like after. I have to be realistic and leave some toys out because my kids are awake and still playing. But I really enjoyed it being clean for the most part. And it just feels really good whenever everything is in place and there's actual floor to walk around on. So I was very happy with the results. But now let's move on to my toddler's room. You guys are not ready for this. This is absolutely insane. It was so overwhelming, and it took me quite some time to motivate myself to get this done. And you guys, I got stuck so many times trying to figure out what to do next, what I kind of did was just start small. You could see my son loves his room and loves playing in it, even though it's a disaster. But I started small. I started with books, just putting away all the books I could. And then I started in categories like putting together the stuff that goes in the shopping cart, like the fake food, and putting the money in the cash registers, and like putting cars together, Lincoln logs together, magnet tiles, all those things. I just kind of did categories here and there as I could, saw what I could put away and put it away. And then I did shove a lot of stuff that is not in a category into his toy box. So this room is not as clean as I want it to be. There's still so much more that I want to get rid of, but it looks amazing now that I got it done. So you guys wait for the end of this video. It is definitely worth it because it is such a big difference.
There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire.
So something that's wonderful about my son is that ever since he started walking, he's been such a helper. He loves throwing away trash when we ask him to, and he loves helping us with dishes, and loves helping with anything that we need help with, even though it's a lot of times it's just random stuff we make up, because he's just a helper. He's the best big brother. He's the best kid. I love him so much, and I really got lucky with him. And I'm trying to figure out how to keep cleaning fun for him. Whenever we ask him, "Hey, can you throw this away for us?" and he says no, I don't force him because he's only 2. He's turning 3 next month, but he's still young, so I don't want to ruin it this young. But I definitely would need to work on having him put away his toys right after he uses them, or putting away the toy he was playing with before he gets a new one. So I definitely have some things I need to work on. Obviously, you can see the state of his room. But since he's so little, I didn't want to force anything. But what do you guys suggest? How did you teach your kids, if you have kids, how did you teach them at a young age to keep tidy and keep things clean and taken care of? Because I can see the potential in him. I really think that he's going to be a clean kid and thoroughly enjoy helping and just keeping the house nice. And I think a lot of that stems from I started my YouTube channel just after he turned 1. And so he's just kind of watched me start this and he's loved it since. So he's a great kid. Let me know your guys' suggestions. What can I do to get him to have habits, I guess? And it's not that I will have a hard time getting him to do it. It's just I don't know where to start, I guess. I don't want to like push it on him too little. I know a lot of people don't have their kids start cleaning until they're 5, but I had him start making his bed and stuff not too long ago. He was doing that before I started work. So it's just, I don't know. I've never met a kid that is so clean. So let me know what you guys do. And obviously I can't expect perfection, but I want to know what I can do to set him up for the future so that he doesn't end up like me. So people keep getting my son these puzzles, and the pieces are so tedious to find and put into this box. I mean, putting them into the box isn't tedious, it's just they go everywhere. So, um, I might have to put these puzzles away because he doesn't even know how to do puzzles yet. It's just I feel like everyone sees a cute puzzle that's for younger kids and they just think of him. So, I might have to put these away so they don't make a huge mess because he doesn't know how to use them yet. And then I'll bring him out whenever he's older and he knows how to put together puzzles entirely. Every time I close my eyes. So I was cleaning his room just before he had to go to bed. I gave myself, I believe, an hour to try to get all of it done. So it's definitely not as organized as I want it to be, and there's still a lot I want to get rid of, like I mentioned. So my goal is to kind of keep the imaginative toys and kind of get rid of the toys that kind of give them the imagination. Does that make sense? I don't like the toys that like talk or like they don't really need to use their imagination as much, but blocks and magnet tiles and cars and things like that I want to keep around because it's good to fuel the imagination when they're playing inside. And the imagination isn't handed to them, I guess. I don't know. I feel like now it's so hard because a lot of the toys are animated and kids are using tablets, and I feel like it's not great that our kids aren't using their imagination quite as much. I grew up as an iPad kid. When I went to my dad's, he would just kind of put an iPad in front of us and let us do our thing. And I really don't think that did very good things to me. I ended up developing depression super young. And I was very addicted to screens. Still am. I still use my phone way too much, and that's one of the things I need to work on. So I don't really want to hand that to my kids too young. I kind of want them to live life without technology because the rest of their lives is going to be around technology and, and obviously we use the TV, and sometimes my son will check out my phone a little bit and look through pictures that I have on my phone and stuff, but I'm trying to minimize it. I definitely could do better, but I don't know. I personally, with my experience from technology, I don't want my kids around it. I think that it has its good and the bad, but for me, the bad is higher when they're younger, and the good is good whenever they're older and can use technology and the internet as a tool to learn rather than to just play video games all day, which is what my brother and I did. So I don't know. It's just kind of what I think, but obviously kids love technology, and I loved playing on the iPad as a kid. So I really don't think it necessarily is terrible. I just personally, looking back, wish I wasn't sat in front of screens so often. So on the bottom of this toy box, I was just kind of picking through things and throwing away things that were just random, like McDonald's toys or toys that were just kind of little um, trinkets that people gave him that really don't have much meaning. And then I was also putting together the groups. So, like, the shopping cart has all of the toy food in it and, Lincoln logs and all the things. I was just gathering things and trying to put them into the categories, but I kind of gave up around here because it was just so much little stuff, and I'm going to have to take more time out of the day to really sort through this and get rid of more things and organize it. So, as you can see, he has a ton of stuffed animals, and I did keep most of them, but I put away a lot of them because I don't know. I was never into stuffed animals, so I don't know the connection, but I tried to get rid of things that didn't really have a significant meaning. A lot of these stuffed animals came from family members in like special moments, that he would remember if they were gone, I think. So, I don't know. It's still needs to be narrowed down even more. But here is what the after looks like. And I very loosely made his bed because he was just going to go to bed. But I got rid of those 3 bags and the room looks so much better. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your time and I will see you next week for a new video. Bye!